Alright, so I'm going to show you how to shape a cuff. They start out flat. You'll want to do any kind of like texturing or anything you'd want to do when it's flat. This is a stepped bracelet mandrel. It is oval, and so I like to start by bending, mostly with my hands, just to start it off and get it as far as I can. And then I'm going to whack it. So I like to start in the middle and work my way towards one end, and I'm right-handed, so I work off the right side. So basically it looks like this. And I'm gonna slide over here. I'm gonna take it off, flip it over, start once again in the middle, get all the way to the end. And if you just hit it, it'll kind of spring open, but sometimes if you can whack it just right, it'll work. Now be careful when you're hammering that you're not actually hammering the lower level as you're trying to do it. So make sure you're staying up in the middle of the step mandrel. I know this isn't gonna fit. It's obviously still closed. I'm gonna do a little adjusting like that. But what I like to do is I'll actually set it down, and I wanna flatten this part a little bit, pull this out. And then I'm gonna take some red flat nose pliers and I'll show you how to curl this in. Okay, so you can see how the ends stick out. You'll never be able to kind of hammer them in because silver springs back up. So what I like to do is I actually stick it in my fingers like this, and I like to grab the end, and then I'm actually gonna use my fingers and the tool to kind of curl it in so that it starts to lay down. Rotate it, do the other side. So I'm using the tool and I'm doing this with my finger at the same time. This one's really thick, so it's a little more challenging. And then I'm gonna pull it open a little bit. You can see it's not quite straight, so I'm gonna do a little bit more. Just the end. Looks pretty good. We want a thumb width though, so I'm just gonna pull it out. But if you pull it out and it starts sticking out again, you have to pull those ends in a little more. And you're probably wondering how the heck you get this on your wrist when you can't open it and close it, because now I've work hardened it. There are lack of tendons and nerves in your wrist here, so you can actually stab it and pivot it. And this bone is smaller than this bone. So you can stab it, and you can actually get pretty deep, and it doesn't hurt, but it is kind of, might be a little morbid. But basically it should sit below your bone so your wrist can move. But the key thing here is that it's sitting flat on the back side of your wrist. And then to get it off, the same kind of area, stab it and pivot so it comes off.